Oh yeah, what's going on everybody? It's your boy JP. That's right. Got another hot one for y'all here today. The Realme 6 Pro. And I'm going to just say it right off the bat. If y'all are looking, you're right now as we speak, you are looking at what's basically going to be the OnePlus Nord. That's right. You're looking at it. The OnePlus Nord. Almost, anyways, design wise. So many of you know, Realme is a brand owned by Oppo, and Oppo is part of the sister company, BBK Electronics, that also owns OnePlus, as well as Vivo. And of course, Vivo owns IQ. So the brand sub brands have sub brands. Because from what I've been reading, OnePlus is actually trying to launch Nord as a sub-brand. But we don't know that for sure just yet. But anyways, Realme 6 Pro. This is basically the OnePlus Nord, really just without 5G and the AMOLED screen. And I'll touch on why I say that. First, man, let's dig in. As we see here, the box, Realme 6 Pro, your books. It has the yellowness like the OnePlus McLaren phones, which I really like here. There's your clear TPU case that comes with it. Your VOOC charger, your SIM ejector tool. The charger itself, the whole thing's not orange like the McLaren OnePlus phones, but don't know if you can see it. The tip inside is orange, or yellow, I should say. Actually, you know what? The more I talk about it, the McLaren was orange. This is yellow. So you'll have to excuse that there. I need to correct myself on that. This is yellow, not orange like the McLaren, but still, same concept. Same concept there. You get what I was trying to say. I was a big fan of the McLaren OnePluses, so I guess I kind of got my colors mixed up there. But let's run down the specs here right quick. I know it's in another language, but I do know this is a global version. By the way, this is global. It has Google Play services. It has all of the bands you need here in the U.S. for LTE. It does have a quad camera setup. The main lens being a 64 megapixel with 20 times zoom. Yeah, and if you couldn't already tell, this phone is freaking sweet. Look, I don't know how much of that you can catch on camera. But pictures don't do it any justice. This phone is absolutely stunning. It feels freaking amazing to the touch. I mean, man, oh man, ladies, whoo, you know the drill. Man, this thing's hot. Gorilla Glass 5 all the way around front and back, with the black, almost black anyways, the housing. Or the frame, I should say. And then, of course, the back is they call it a red, but it's more purplish, really. And the frame is, I can't tell if that's plastic or aluminum. But nonetheless, the phone front and back is Gorilla Glass 5. And it's pretty hot. Don't know if you can catch it on camera because of the wallpaper. But it does have. This is why I say it's like the OnePlus. This is why I say it's like the OnePlus. This is why I say it's like the OnePlus Nord, or it is the OnePlus Nord here. Sorry, y'all. I'm not trying to stutter there. Don't know if you can catch it on camera, but it does have the dual selfie cutout. And that's the same exact position that it's at on the OnePlus Nord. If you've seen any of the leaks, I mean, the phone in its entirety is already leaked, and this is it right here. And it's going to have a dual front selfie, so obviously it's going to have a dual cutout there, or a pill shaped cutout, as a lot of people like to call it. And it's in that upper left hand corner, and it is a 6.5 inch screen. Same size as the Nord. And The Nord is also supposed to have a Snapdragon 765G processor with a 90Hz refresh AMOLED. This is a Snapdragon 720G. The Nord has a 765G, not to be confused with 5G, even though it is 5G. The 765G 5G capable processor is what's found in the Nord, the OnePlus Nord. This phone, the OnePlus, the Realme 6 Pro, has a slightly less powerful Snapdragon 720G chipset. Obviously, the G is there because it's still a gaming-centric processor. And 720G is actually a little newer. It was announced a few months after the 765G. The major difference is there's no 5G, capabilities here. It's just strictly 4G LTE. But it does have a 90Hz refresh rate, as you can see there. Again, going back over the specs in the other language here. The dual selfie, which I already touched on. I already touched on the main 64 megapixel camera with 20 times zoom. The VOOC charging with the 4300 milliamp battery. Snapdragon 720G with Hyper Boost. And back to that 90Hz refresh rate right quick. This is an LCD. So, those are the major differences. This looks just like the Nord. It looks just like it. I mean, I can get that phone when it comes and compare them. They're going to look exactly the same. The major differences are, 5G enabled Snapdragon 765G with a 90Hz AMOLED screen versus the Snapdragon 720G and 90Hz LCD screen. Same size, 6.5 inches. I imagine the Nord's not going to have any more capable of a camera than what this phone already has. I'm willing to bet, really, that this is the camera system front and back that the OnePlus Nord is going to have. So I find that pretty amazing, honestly. This phone is sweet. I absolutely love Realme's user interface, their UI, their UX, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely love it. I had one other Realme device. It was late last year. It's on my channel, the Realme X2 Pro. And I was thoroughly impressed with that phone. And I am just as impressed with this phone, especially the price tag. Especially the price. You can get this on Amazon and eBay, shipped from the US, and you will get it in 2 days for $295. And, man, I mean, if you're not specifically looking for a 5G device, this is the phone to get. The only other phone I could say is worth the money is, which isn't on my channel, but just to show y'all that I do get other phones that I don't necessarily put up on my channel. There's already some great reviews out of this phone. Give me a second. I'm just grabbing it here. I have here the UmiDigi. The new UmiDigi S5 Pro with the pop-up selfie, and this phone has a 6.4-inch AMOLED with the in-display fingerprint sensor, and it has the MediaTek G90T gaming chipset, and near stock Android. I like the interface on the Realme a little bit more, but these two phones, man, unless you're looking for a phone specifically with 5G, these are the best two phones to get. The Realme 6 Pro and the UmiDigi S5 Pro. If I don't end up doing a review on the S5 Pro, I would have already done it by now because I actually got it before this phone. But there's already some great reviews on the S5 Pro. And of course, mine are just little quick overviews anyways. But these are the best two phones if you're looking for, you don't care about 5G, you want to save a little bit of money. I mean, you're sleeping if you don't choose either of those devices there, or some of your other like Xiaomi devices, as Jay Will commonly goes over. I go over a lot of Xiaomi devices too. He goes a little bit further than I do, because the lowest that I had gotten here recently was the Note 9 Pro, whereas he got the Pro, the Note 9S actually, and then the Note 9, and then the regular, Redmi 9. But, and of course, I had the Pro or the 9S, and then I went up from there. I got the Xiaomi Mi Lite 5G. I've had the Redmi X10, the Redmi 10X 5G, the Pogo F2 Pro, which he also has. Yeah, the Realme 6 Pro here. If you're not specifically looking for 5G, save the money. This is the phone to get here. It has all the bands you need for AT&T and T-Mobile. It is missing band 71, which the Umi Digi actually has, which is freaking amazing if you ask me. But they've always been pretty good about that. It does surprise me that Realme doesn't have every single band available, because OnePlus phones typically do. They actually always do. And honestly, I gotta say that Umi Digi is second place in that, in the unlocked phone territory, and in the amount of LTE bands anyways. Yeah, Umi Digi had you covered about as good as OnePlus does. Now, of course, 5G is a different story, and now when Umi Digi releases a 5G device, of course, Realme actually already has some affordable ones. I'm going to be jumping on these real soon. And when Umi Digi, when they have a 5G device, I'm gonna jump on that too. But just kind of go back over it there. Your VOOC wall wart, your cord there. I like the little spec sheet here. This is actually over a card here. I just have the sleeve taken off, and from the phone, and just put it on this just to preserve it there. And your books there, file them and pluck them, throw them, feed them to the animal, and kind of go over the app drawer here. Like I said, it is besides the Smart Assistant right here, it is pretty stockish. I actually think that the Realme UI is better than the color UI that is found on Oppo's. And again, Oppo actually even though Oppo is owned by BBK, Oppo runs Realme. So, it's kind of like it's the sub-brand, as I said. Kind of like I wouldn't say honor the Huawei, but you get what I'm trying to say here. The 90 hertz refresh rate on this phone is very noticeable, by the way. I haven't had many 90 hertz refresh enabled phones where I could really notice the difference. Like, I could notice the difference, but nothing immensely noticeable. It wasn't until I got to the 120 hertz where I could really notice it. But this, I can notice, even though it's only 90, it's not 120, I can notice. And it's funny because if you go back and watch my video to the Realme X2 Pro, I said the same thing about that phone. That phone at the time was the 90 hertz refresh phone, if I could say it like that. That was the most noticeable. And I don't know what it is, but when it comes to 90 hertz refresh rates, Realme knows what they are doing. They actually just released a 5G-enabled Snapdragon 765 phone with a 120 hertz display. And I'm willing to bet it's going to be on the higher end as far as 120 hertz displays that are actually noticeable. I don't know if it's OLED or LCD, but, nonetheless, for an LCD screen, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. The thing is so smooth, it looks like an OLED. The colors are deep, vivid. The only thing missing is an always-on display, an ambient display, if you will. This phone does have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. Again, 8 gigs of RAM, which is really good for a Snapdragon 720G processor. 8 gigs is that alone really boosts that 720 there, because the 720 is actually getting higher benchmarks than the 730. And yes, I mean that for the Gs. The 720G is getting higher benchmarks than the Snapdragon 730G, for what that's worth. So remember that. It's pretty hot. It does have expandable memory, and that excites me because I know that the OnePlus Nord won't, because OnePlus phones don't have expandable memory. But this phone does have expandable memory. Up to a terabyte plus, I'm sure. But I really like this phone, and it is, it's hot. The thing is lightning fast, buttery smooth, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Again, they say it's red, but it's more purplish. But man, it is sexy. And and that's not only am I pretty sure that this is the same camera setup that's going to be found in the OnePlus Nord, but I mean, even the array of lenses and the flash are positioned exactly the same. I mean, I'm willing to bet that this case would almost fit the Nord. The only giveaway is right here. That's one thing I haven't gone over in this video yet, and I'm sorry for rambling, because this phone's, it's not AMOLED, it's LCD. So your question is, where's the fingerprint sensor? And I haven't touched on that. It's right here. It's part of the power button. It's on the side-mounted fingerprint sensor. I always say that that's my favorite spot if it's not under the display. And sometimes, depending on how well or how well the in-display fingerprint sensor doesn't work, I sometimes prefer it here. This is actually my favorite physical spot on the side right here. And of course, the case makes a spot for that. Now the OnePlus Nord is supposed to be AMOLED, and it's going to have an in-display fingerprint sensor, so it's not going to have this big power button here. It's just going to, you know, if it is right there, it's just going to, I think it is. I think it's just it's a different colored, you know, button, you know, which will be used, you know, just for the screen timeout and whatnot. But your volume rocker is over here. It's really hard to see with this black frame here, but it's gorgeous though. But that's your volume rocker down there, kind of centered like the power button is on the other side. Your SIM ejector tool. It is a dual SIM hybrid, again with the micro SD slot. USB Type-C does have your headphone jack. I don't know if the Nord will, but this does. Your speaker. And yeah. I mean, this like I said, man, this phone is it's wonderful. I got it in yesterday. Got it off of eBay for $195, and yeah, I mean it's pimp. I'm digging this phone. I really am. I've kind of became consumed with 5G devices here lately. This and the Umi Digi are the ones that I've gotten that weren't 5G, but that is just fine because these phones are amazing. Anyways, I hope y'all like this video. If I missed something, let me know. Again, I know a lot of y'all like my talk about the frequencies. This is just missing band 71 and maybe, well, yeah, I think it is missing 66 as well. But it does have 2, 4, 5, 12, and 17. And yeah. And like I said, this phone hasn't hiccuped at all. I mean, it has been blazing fast. It's been just as fast as any of my Snapdragon 765 power phones, like my Mi 10 Lite. It's been amazing. Realme, again, hit one out of the park here with this phone here. I highly recommend this phone. I really like it a lot. Anyways, y'all hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate all of the feedback I get. I hope y'all enjoy this video. Peace.